Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back at the SA National Senior Championship 2025, Day 2, Finals, Session 4. Let's give a warm hand as we welcome our officials to pool deck. Our referees for the men today, Yogan Naidu. And for the women, Benita Kleinans. Our starters for the men, Stella Young. And for the women, Colin Andreos. And our technical delegate, Mrs. Daphne Bird. Thank you, officials. You may be seated.
Welcome back to Newton Park Swimming Pool in Gqeberha for Day 2. The finals are the SA National Swimming Championships 2025. As always, this morning we enjoyed plenty of heats, but the action heats up this evening with the finals taking to the pool. Plenty of swims coming up, including those lengthy 1500-meter finals for the men's and the ladies. I'm Derek Alberts, and with me, as always, former SA swimming sensation, Chanel van Dijk. Good evening, Chanel. Yeah, great night planned.
Yes, no, definitely. And we're starting off with a bang with the ladies 200 meters IM.
Oh, it's going to be a great one. Of course, we go with the B final first up, then the A final. Keep an eye out for Rebecca Meader in that A final, setting a qualifying time, a B qualifying time. She's certain to improve on that a little later. But first up, we do have the women's B final in the 200 IM. And in the lanes, going from lanes 1 to 8, Zoe Griffiths, Chelsea White, Caitlin Evans, Scarlett Leroux, Gabriella van den Berg, Logan Gray, Bailey Lambert, and Juliana Banker. A top-notch lineup.
Yes, no, you can also see quite a few juniors in this B final, obviously using this as a stepping stone for Sanjay a little bit later on this month.
Yeah, speaking of the youngsters, looking over at lane 3, I mean the youngest of the lot, swimming for Western Cape, Caitlin Evans, but it is the 200 IM. And the first event is underway. It is the 200 IM. And of course, they kick things off with butterfly.
Yes, and it looks like Scarlett Leroux out to a great start in this butterfly leg.
Very, very impressive from Scarlett Leroux. And the heats swam a 2:24.16. And once again, you can expect a vast improvement this time round, and a great start from her. Look at her go, and nice effort over in lane 8 from Juliana Venker, also keeping her honest as they transition now to backstroke.
Yes, and Gqeberha van den Berg currently in 3rd position. But as we've seen in this morning's heats, the lead does change.
Yeah, Chanel kept on reiterating the fact, of course, given the fact that it is 4 complete different disciplines, if you have swimmers that focus on a specific one, once they switch over to that, obviously you expect them to shine in one that there is certain their strength. As we see the backstrokers making their presence felt, and it is still Scarlett Leroux with the slim lead at the turn midway through this race. 106.24 touching, and she is closely followed by Bailey Lambert, but that could change in the breaststroke leg, but Scarlett Leroux still out in front.
Yes, Bailey, a great backstroke swimmer there from KZN.
Watch that Western Cape swimming cap of Scarlett Leroux over in lane 4. Looking very good so far, very confident, and this is going to be a really good finish, I predict, in the opening race of the night, day 2 of the finals.
Yes,
and the national swimming champs.
Yes, and we see Caitlin Evans coming through in that breaststroke leg, turning in 2nd position.
So Scarlett Leroux still out in front, only just as they switch over to the final leg. It is freestyle. Oh, and Scarlett Leroux is fighting hard to start in front, but Caitlin Evans looking very, very good over in lane 3. So good, in fact, it looks like she's taken over the lead. Oh, this is going to be tight. Leroux or Evans, who's it going to be? Evans in front, only
like
ever so
Evans.
slightly. Evans will get there first. She certainly does. 2:22.79 ahead of Scarlett Leroux. And in 3rd position, it was over in lane 8, Juliana Venker, capturing 3rd spot in this B final of the women's 200 IM. But what a performance from Caitlin Evans, taking over the lead in the final leg, the freestyle leg, and going over to take the win in a time of 2:22.79.
Yes, great 2nd half of that race by Caitlin Evans, coming through very strong in that breaststroke leg and finishing it off with freestyle.
So those swimmers will make their way out of the pool, as the others will make their way to the starters blocks, as we look forward to the A final of the women's 200 IM. This is going to be an absolute cracker, and once again Rebecca Meader is the one to watch, the swimmer from KZN, 22 years of age. She did set a qualifying time for the World Champs in Singapore for the B qualifying time, but she'll want to improve on that.
We have some of the spectators.
And just interesting to note, because, I mean, Rebecca Meader was well inside the B qualifying time, the qualifying time being 2:17.48. And that is for the B, and she set a 2:13.65, and that's just slower than the A qualifying time, which is 2:12.83. So it's well within her sights. And knowing her talent, what do you reckon?
No, definitely. Also looking at Becky's best time at 2:08, if I'm not mistaken. So she definitely has a lot of leeway.
Oh, it's going to be a goodie. It is the women's A final of the women's 200 IM. Megan Stewart, Georgia Els, Kate Mayer, Rebecca Meader, Amy Kenny, Sophia French, Catherine Williams, and Laura Kos.
And so I think we're going to have a big battle in the middle of the pool between Kate Mayer, Rebecca Meader, and Amy Kenny.
And Rebecca does hold the SA record in this event. And Chanel speak, and getting off to a great start does Rebecca, as expected in the butterfly leg up front. And look at her pull away immediately from her competitors. Amy Canny on her outside. Strong showing so far from Amy as well as Kate Mayer, but it is Rebecca out in front. And she makes the turn at 27.81. Canny lying in second. Georgia Els in third, out in lane 2.
That's great underwater work there from Becky.
And this is when Rebecca Meader certainly does come into her own. You can see start to separate herself from the pack. Wholly so, in fact.
Yes, definitely strong in all 4 of the strokes, but backstroke not as strong as the rest. But I mean, she's looking great right now.
Yeah, you could have fooled pretty much everyone watching. And this is a weakest one. Wow, I hate to see a strongest one. Well, we're about to see plenty of that. So a great performance so far from Rebecca Meader midway through the race. 101.35, and she's well clear of Amy Canny lying in second. And it was Catherine Williams who pulled up into third position for now as they move over to breaststroke. And Rebecca continues to dominate matters.
Yes, there she goes in one of her favorite strokes, breaststroke.
That mark that she holds when it comes to the SA record, 2:10.95. That was set at the World Champs.
Amy Canny turning in second place there, 1:43.38. And Georgia Els currently in third position, 1:47.28. We're on that last length, freestyle leg.
And here she comes through. A glorious performance so far from Rebecca Meader. And she is powering her way onto a certain victory. Wow, look at the gap between herself and the competitors.
Should definitely be an A qualifying time.
2:10.39.
Great work there by Becky Meader, 2:10.39, followed by Amy Canny, 2:16.05, and Georgia Els in third, 2:19.53.
What a performance from Rebecca Meader. Wow. Well inside that A qualifying time. Absolutely obliterating.
And great to see the camaraderie between Becky and Amy.
2:10.39. Rebecca Meader take a bow. That was simply sensational. Amy Canny in second and Georgia Els in third.
Amy Canny also dipping below that B qualifying time. Amy Canny going the 2:16.05.
What a performance from Rebecca Meader. And you heard Chanel mention earlier regarding her best ever time, 2:08. So no surprises there in making the 2:10, but that was simply brilliant from Rebecca Meader, the swimmer from KZN, as we make our way now to the men's 200 IM. First up, it is the B final. As they make their way out poolside in lane 1, Claudia Dometer. Lane 2, Halkard Muller. Lane 3, Willem Roos. Lane 4, Caden Naidu. Will beat in lane 5, Nathaniel Friend. In lane 6, Jonathan Els. In lane 7, and Jonathan Heslop in lane 8.
Yes, so the gentlemen getting ready for the B final of the men's 200 meter IM event. There you have your lineup on the screen. Caden Naidu swimming a time of 2:09.33 this morning, followed by Will Beat, 2:09.74, and Willem Roos, 2:10.84. Everybody entered on kind of equal times here, 2:09 to 2:11, so it can be anybody's race.
Yeah, certainly not much to choose between them. Keep an eye on the youngster over in lane 5, Will Beat, representing the Eastern Cape, only 16 years of age, and just to show the difference, outside him, he's got Caden Naidu, who's 22, and he's got Nathaniel Friend on the other side, who's 21 years old. So a massive youngster in the middle, but without a doubt, there'll be plenty of fans rooting for him here in Gqeberha in what is the third race of the night.
Definitely great start there by Caden Naidu, coming at first to the first 25 meters, but it is Will Beat turning in first place, 26.92, followed by Nathaniel, 27.17. And Jonathan Else, 27.18. Looks like Jonathan Else out in lane 7, starting to pull away slightly. But we also have Helgard Miller down in lane 2, coming back strong in this backstroke leg.
Yeah, going along very nicely in lane 2. Helgard Miller leading the way as they make their way over now to breaststroke.
And it is Will Beat coming back in this breaststroke leg. Helgard Miller hanging in there in lane 2.
Oh, and now the rest of the chasing pack start to come forward. Well, this is turning into a great effort. Lane 5 looking very good. Will Beat, we spoke about him a little earlier, the Eastern Caper. The crowd certainly roaring their approval for the young man. Yeah, they're trying to will him on. Can he keep the chasers at bay? It's going to be extremely tough. But Will Beat looking very, very strong in freestyle. In fact, he looks to be pulling away. Does the 16-year-old from the Eastern Cape. This is sensational. And this is going to be a victory for the hometown outfit. Will Beat beats the rest. 2:07.15. Well done. Willem Rus grabbing second and Caden Naidu in third place.
It's great swim there by Will Beat. Growing from strength to strength in that freestyle leg.
A confirmation of those results. And Will Beat, wow, absolutely dominated those final 2 legs. 2:07.15. That was fantastic from him. And Rus in second, Caden Naidu in third. So chalk enough for the Eastern Capers as we await the A finalists now.
There we have that replay of that phenomenal race by Will Beat, leading the field by 2 seconds.
Yeah, it looked as if, I mean, obviously he, being in lane 5, he didn't have the quickest time going into this, but, I mean, he just pulled away in the freestyle. I mean, more than a body length clear. That was absolutely superb. And 16 years of age, wow, remember the name, hard to forget. A brilliant performance from Will Beat. And what was the third race of the night in the finals on day 2 as we move over now to the A final of the men's 200 IM. From lanes 1 to 8, Gianna Dos Santos, Matthew Randall, Matt Sates, Cameron Casali, Kian Keelock, Anand van Rensburg, Juan Boshoff, and Ruben Smith.
We have Matthew Sates looking very chilled there in your picture.
Of course, we're going to keep an eye on those qualifying times. And having a look at Matt Sates, that 2:06.02. A qualifying time underneath 2-minute mark. A B qualifying time 2:03.22. So is that within his range? We know that the Olympian can certainly do wonders in the pool, and this is promising to be a great race, but he will be challenged by the likes of Casali and Keelock and the rest. A great lineup of competitors in the men's 200 IM final, the A final.
Definitely a time within his reach. Matt looked very comfortable this morning, so looking forward to this men's 200 IM A final.
And in they go. The first leg of the men's A final 200 IM, and they kick things off once again, as always, with butterfly.
And there he goes, Matt Sates, about half a body length ahead at 25 meters.
Geez, he wasted no time at all making his presence felt.
No time at all. Looks like Gino Dos Santos out in lane 1, also having a crack of a butterfly leg.
Excellent first leg up there for Matt Sates, 25.42, making the turn. Gianna Dos Santos was second, and Casali was third. Back to backstroke.
Yeah, yes, Matt also has quite a bit of a busy schedule today, having the 200 fly coming up a little bit later.
Yeah, he's an extremely busy man. There's the Olympian. And that's why he's an Olympian.
Matt Sates turning in a time of 55.74, followed by Kasali, 58.31.
Just past the midway mark, and Matt Sates is well clear of the rest. And I know we spoke about it earlier, but yeah, he certainly did put off the afterburners today during the heats. And this is him when he's going full throttle.
He's looking very comfortable in this breaststroke leg.
And he makes the turn at 1:35.4, well ahead of the next best, which is Kian Keelock over in lane 5. Cameron Casali just behind him. Middle to choose between second and third. It's going to be a bun fight for second and third. But there's absolutely no question as to who is coming through for the victory in this men's 200 IM.
Yeah, so Matt Sates needs to come back in a time of 28 with a little bit of change to make that A qualifying time.
1:58.83, and he gets an A qualifying time. Sensational performance from Matt Sates. That is absolutely brilliant.
Kian Keelock coming in second place, 208.34. And Cameron Kasali in third, 205.08.
And that man in picture, Matt Sates, getting that World Champs qualifying A time. Well within that, and a great swim, 1:58.83, and he needed to get it in 1:59.05, so he was well within that range. So Matt Sates getting the A qualifying time. That was superb. Well done to the man from KZN. Yeah, what a start to proceedings. Rebecca Meader, Matt Sates. Superb swims.
2 A qualifying times. What more can we ask for? What a way to start.
And there you can hear the crowd being told exactly what just transpired. And look at that dominance from Matthew Sates. He sat there relaxing, waiting for the rest of them to come through and take nothing away from the likes of Kian Keelock and Cameron Kasali. Some great swims, but man, when you're up against someone like Matt Sates' talent.
Moving on to the first of our 1500 meter events for the evening.
And we move over now to the next event. It's a long one. The women's 1500 meter freestyle. "30 laps of the pool." So here we have Gqeberha. Watch out for her, just 15 years of age, swimming in lane 1 alongside Hannah Nielsen, Kellen Lotter, Stephanie Hartman, Catherine van Rensburg, Caitlin Horn, Marini Jacobs, and Lee Marcroft. 30 laps of the pool to go. And away they go. Good start from Gqeberha over in lane 1. Gqeberha, daughter of former Protea. That is Pierre de Brain.
A final, lane 7. I repeat, lane 202. A final, lane 7.
And away they go. This is a crazy, crazy event. 30 laps of swimming to come.
Yes, so Catherine van Rensburg, out in a time of 30.31, followed by Stephanie Hartman, Ladies looking very comfortable in this first 100 meters. And it is Catherine van Rensburg turning in a time of 1:03.23, followed by Stephanie Houtman, 1:04.47. And Cullen Lotte out in a 1:04.77. So Stephanie entered in a B qualifying time of 16:33.12. Well, let's see what these ladies can do.
Yeah, it's such a crazy race this. And yeah, little choose between them early days. 27 laps to go. Tiring almost just saying that. So good start so far over in lane 5. And it is Catherine van Rensburg making the turn, and 2:09.65. Plenty of swimming still to come. She entered this in 17:07.02, so that gives you an idea as to just how long they still have to go. Barely scratched the surface of this event.
Yes, Catherine out to a convincing lead though. And we have 25 laps to go in this ladies 1500 meters final.
Big thank you once again to the organizers and the officials giving up their time, their effort and experience to ensure that this event is rock solid as always. Also big thank you to the various sponsors for coming on board. National Lotteries Commission, Swimming South Africa, Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, Arena Aquile, Southern Sun. This is the home of the SA Nationals. It certainly has been the home of the Nationals for the last couple of years. Newton Park Swimming Pool in Gqeberha, and only day 2. Remember, 5 days in total. We finished things up on Sunday evening. And what a start to proceedings so far tonight. Over in that women's 200 IM, Rebecca Meader absolutely obliterating her A qualifying time. And the men, it was repeated by Matt Sace.
Yes, and hopefully we can get another qualifying time in this 1500 meter event.
Yeah, we certainly do hold thumbs. That qualifying time when it comes to the 1500 for the women, it is the A qualifying time 16:24.56, the B time 16:59.02. And Stephanie Hartman coming into the event well inside that B qualifying time. But I tell you what, it was just outside of that A qualifying time. Not just outside. Still got a bit of work to do.
Yes, and it looks like Cullen Lotte currently in second position, 4:27, followed by Houtman in 4:32.
Well, plenty of the coaches poolside urging their swimmers on.
Yes, some of our great distance athletes there we saw not so long ago on the screen, Troy Prinsloo and Mark Randall. So Catherine turning at the 500 meter mark, 5:28.84, followed by Cullen Lotte, 5:36.89, and Stephanie Houtman, 5:41.54.
as we head towards the 6-minute mark. So the action continues, and Catherine van Rensburg looking very, very strong so far in this women's 1500 freestyle final. And what has been a great start to proceedings tonight. We mentioned earlier the A qualifying times for the likes of Rebecca Meader and Matt Sates. And with me in the commentary box, Dean Price, a doyen of SF Swimming, one of the most important men when it comes to this event. Dean, great to see you once again. We do our annual get-together for a week here in Gqeberha, and 2 days in, you must be excited as to what we've seen so far.
Yeah, I think we're very excited, and what we're seeing is that we've got our sort of, like, we can call them the usual suspects, but the nice thing is they're really delivering, and they're delivering on the highest level. And so it's great to see. We're now up to 3 swimmers who have made the A qualifying time, and we're having an incredible swim here by Catherine van Rensburg, and she's just cleared the field now. And I looked earlier at her splits, and she's sort of just around the 106 mark, which will put her around the 16:30 for the 1500. If she can hold this, then that's a great swim, and she's going to be really close to getting one of those qualifying times for World Champs in Singapore.
And
so,
yeah, I mean, she absolutely dominated matters in terms of getting inside that B qualifying time, well within that range. But yeah, she is looking very, very strong. And what did you make of those first 2 swims, Rebecca Meader and Matt Sates? Brilliant.
Yeah, so Rebecca Meader, incredible. I think a 2:10.3 is a fantastic swim, and really, really good. I think I just spoke to a coach in New Zealand, Graham Hill, and he was really, really excited about that. He feels that, I know I spoke to him before the champs, that she wasn't fully tapered or peaked yet, because he wanted to try get some great swims at Singapore, maybe a medal or a final. And I spoke to him now, and he was really, really happy with that swim and feels that she's on target. I was sitting next to Wayne, Matt Sates' coach, doing his swim, and he's sort of getting back in the game now. You can see he's got that aggression back.
Very much so.
He took it out, 158.8, his best swim in about 2 years. He was a world champion in the 200M, and we hope that he's going to be one again soon.
Yeah.
So I think we're getting our team ready for LA, and we want to get these swimmers up there. And I look at her time now, and she's going, so 8:40.
8:48, 8:1.
So, yeah, so that's great. Okay, so she's on that 106 pace. Okay, and that's just over halfway now, so we've got 700 to go. So she's going to be around the 16:30, maybe 16:31 or 16:32 if she drops off a little bit, but she looks comfortable in this rhythm. And she's just pulled away. So, you know, the thing is now it's to hold it, because she's got no one near her. She's almost 30-40 meters ahead of the next person. And it's just to keep the focus. You know, it'd be nice if we had people in the stands cheering her on, telling her she's doing great. But I think if she can do this on her own, then that's going to be a really great swim. And also, you know, the nice thing is this is going to be her best time by a long, long way. So this is going to motivate her for the next 3 years to try and get to LA. And so we're seeing a great distance swim in the making with this swim here. And she looks very comfortable just holding her stroke. Coming down now for the, it looks like it's going to be the 900 meter mark. So if she can get into the wall here, then we've got about 600. So we're looking good. And she's just 1 second out now. This is what I was worried about. You know, when you're on your own, it's really hard to keep the pressure up. And so she might drop off a couple of seconds, but I think this is going to be a great swim.
Yeah, looking very, very strong is Catherine van Rensburg, the swimmer out of Tshwane, just 20 years of age. So really fantastic effort so far from her. And you mentioned about the usual suspects performing, and certainly that has been the case. We saw Peter Kutsia last night as well doing very well. But also it does open the door for others to shine, because there's been some swimmers who in the past who have dominated this meet. We think of the likes of Chad de Clos and, of course, Tatiana Smith. Tatiana having since retired, Chad unfortunately being injured. So it really does allow others to kind of make a name for themselves over the course of these 5 days.
Yeah, definitely so. So as you said, Chad's not swimming, Tatiana's not swimming, and that's why you see the breaststrokes. It's like everyone is fighting for that crown. And I think the nice thing is we've got 3 years till LA. So already the girls on 107s, and I think within a year they're going to be on 105s. We know Laura was sick, and I think the big thing is that in the world of swimming there was an announcement on Wednesday that the 50-meter events are now going to be part of the Olympic program. So this is great because South Africa has such a proud history of sprinting and 50-meter swims, you know, like starting with Roland Skuman, you know, Ryk Neethling, all these great sprinters. But now it's going to open up in all the different events. So we saw a fantastic swim by Peter this morning, 24.5, well within the World Champs qualifying time. So I think we've also got Chris Smith. He broke the World Junior record in December in the 50 meters breaststroke. And he's only 17, so he broke the World Junior record, 26 short course breaststroke. We're going to see him late in the week in action. So we've got that next generation coming out. And I know the Minister of Sports has this vision that he wants to double the team to LA that we took to Paris.
So if you've just joined us, we are chatting to Dean Price, of course, is one of the doyens when it comes to this event, a massive organizer in terms of the SA Nationals. And yeah, he's been coming through thick and fast over the last couple of years to this one, and always great to have him as a guest. Just on the subject of those 50s, great to see them added. Of course, in the past we've always seen the freestyle. We can never forget what took place at Athens in 2004. Roland getting the silver just put to the post by Peter van den Hoogenbaan, the Dutch swimmer. And funny enough, he actually put out a post today. He said, you know, I'm 48 years of age, and suddenly all these other 50s have been added. Never say die. Should I try and have another crack for LA? And I mean, of course, we saw Roland in action right here last year. But yeah, it certainly does open the door. It's very exciting, and begs the question: what was the initial reasoning for those short distances, apart from freestyle, obviously being excluded in the first place?
I think initially, you know, 50 meters weren't really like part of like. It was more like an American thing with their short course, their college season and the short course racing. But I think the momentum with short course racing, remember there only used to be 50-meter pools, and maybe I think about the last 15, 20 years, short course racing has become so prevalent in the world. And so what happens, and they saw the attraction for speed and short speed races. And obviously they wanted that to be part of the Olympics to make it exciting, to create a following, and that's what it's definitely going to do. It also keeps the swimmers into the sport a lot longer. You know, the one talked about, there's a guy, Santos, he's 40 years of age, and he was the fastest 50-meter butterfly swimmer in the world. So, you know, at 40 years of age, you still have a chance of being one of the fastest in the world. So you're going to see swimmers, instead of giving up at 23, 24 years of age, carrying on much longer into the sport. And right now, we've got Catherine van Rensburg. I think we're coming up now, and she's looking very strong, and I think she's almost like 30, 40 meters ahead of the next competitor, and that looks to be a race between, it looks like it's Karen Lotta and Stephanie Houtman fighting it out for the second place, but there's no question who's going to win this 1500, and that's Catherine van Rensburg, a real powerhouse in distance events and also open water events. She's got a very proud history, so she's great, and she's turning 26, yeah, so that's a good swim. We've got 200 to go.
So 4 more laps of the pool for Catherine van Rensburg to take on. And just looking at those times once again, that B qualifying time 16:59.02. She's well within that range, and that A qualifying time was 16:24.56. Of course, she had already achieved that B qualifying time anyway, 16:33.12. Going into this event following the heats. But yeah, this has been simply sensational from Catherine van Rensburg, and it really is a battle for second place. But at the moment, Stephanie Houtman holding on to that. And once again, back in Gqeberha, I mean, this has become the home of the SA National Swimming Champs.
It's a great venue, and you know, Gqeberha goes out of their way to make it very special for us, which we really appreciate. The swimmers appreciate it. The water is warm, it's fantastic. And we've got a lot of support, which is great for the swimmers. 100 meters to go. Catherine van Rensburg coming to the turn now. The bell's ringing, so she knows she's got 100 to go. And I think it looks like, yeah, she's on 15:34. So she'll try and get under that 15:40. If we can get into the 16:40 at the 16:30 something, Means she's got to come back in a 105. We'll see if she can bring that kick in the last 50 meters. She's a good 50 meters now ahead of the fellow competitors. It looks like she's going to be the only swimmer to get a world champ's time. It might be a B time, but she's going to be well under the B time. And here she comes for the final 50. And the race is now Kellen Lotter, Stephanie Houtman for the second place. They're almost synchronized swimming arm for arm. They've got 100 meters to go. But you see Van Rensburg bringing in a big kick now. This is what we expect her to do. She knows she's closing down for the last 30 meters. We're going to be watching that cross. Okay, it's going to be real tight now. We've got, if she can get under 10 seconds to get under the 1640. And I think she's going to be right around that time. She's looking good. She's not shortening her stroke. She's holding it coming in. And it's going to be, she does it. I think she got it 16:39.99. Well done, Catherine.
39.99.
Okay, that's a great swim. That's well below her personal best time.
Wow. Congratulations to Catherine van Rensburg. A brilliant swim from her over in lane 5. The swimmer from Tshwane, and 20 years of age, and well within that B qualifying time. Congratulations to her, Stephanie
And
Hartman.
there's a huge battle going on for second.
Look at
Who's
this.
going to have the longest arm? It looks like Kellen Lotter is slightly in front, but it's going to be who gets to the wall first.
Lotte is in
Nobody-
the push at the end, but Lotte gets it. 17:13.22. Hartman 17:13.44. Nothing in it between those two, but Lotte grabbing silver and Hartman grabbing bronze. And as we saw, another race now coming through from lanes 6, 7, and 8. But it looks like lane 7's going to take it. Marini Jacobs getting 4th position. But this was the story of Catherine van Rensburg. 16:39.99. That was simply incredible. That was impressive.
I think we saw some really great swims, especially for the girls. We want to see distance swimming really improve. And Catherine van Rensburg, not only in the pool, but also in open water. She's had a great year.
Well done to Catherine van Rensburg, grabbing top spots on the podium, followed by Kellen Lotter and Stephanie Hartman. Dean, thank you so much for joining us as always. Without a doubt, we'll be catching up with you later in the week. We will be wrapping things up on Sunday night. But yeah, here's to a fantastic SA Nationals taking place here at Newton Park.
Thanks for the invite, and it's great to be with you.
Thank you so much to Dean Price. We'll be catching up with him a little later in the week. Congratulations once again to Catherine van Rensburg. What a swim.
In lane 3, we have Nasira Jatoy. Lane 4, Alani Pereira. Lane 5, Melissa
what a performance
Everson.
there from Catherine van Rensburg. As we move over to the next event, as we move over to the multi-class events, and it is the women's 100-meter butterfly S1 to S15, and we have Nasira de Toy, Elani Ferreira, Melissa Everson, and Minka Janse van Rensburg. And a reminder once again, it is the multi-class events, and as a result, it's not as if they're competing against each other, although ostensibly they are, but it's about beating the clock in terms of their individual classes.
There was a great swim by Catherine van Rensburg in the previous 1500 meters freestyle.
That really was. What a performance, and really impressed Dean Price.
What does it say on my page?
Wow, you said a
1640. Not bad.
Yeah.
1639.99.
Well done.
Close call.
Nostradamus next to us here. Very, very well predicted. As we see the likes of Nasira de Toy, Elani Ferreira, Melissa Everson, and Minka Janse van Rensburg all in action.
Yes, Alani swimming a time of 1:22.42 this morning. Great swim by her. Looking for some faster times tonight by these ladies.
Yeah, without a doubt, coming into this event, Elani Ferreira, 1:22.42, the swimmer from KZN. Another KZN swimmer next to him, Gqeberha, 1:30. Look to dip below those times. Remember, it is the women's 100 fly, S1 to S15 multi-class.
We have about 15 meters to go, and it's Alani Gqeberha, followed closely by Gqeberha.
Alani fighting hard, going along rather nicely, very nicely in fact, and she touches in a time of 1:20.78.
It's great swim there by Alani, followed by Miliska in a 1:29.06, also dipping the under her morning heat swim.
Minka, Janse van Rensburg continuing to astound and perform in the water.
Minka touching in a time of 1:44.91.
And the 0 to toy, 1:47.38 for her from Western Cape. So 2 KZN swimmers and 2 swimmers from the Western Cape. And the women's 100 fly, S1 to S15, confirmation of those times. Alani Gqeberha in S12, 1:20.78.
Followed by Miliska and Nazira.
Looking back at the highlights of that one.
Moving on to the men's 100-meter butterfly, S1 to S15. In lane 4, we have Nathan Hendricks and 5, James Villas.
Yeah, we saw Willis a lot in action today, this morning during the heats. And there barely had time to breathe in between events. And now he's back in the water this evening for the finals of day 2 of the SA National Aquatics Champs.
Yes, he was back-to-back with the 200 fly, wasn't
He
it?
was, yeah. It was a fantastic performance from him. It's amazing. We just witnessed the women's 1500 free, and we're enjoying the flies of the 100s, and then we move over to the quick stuff. So from one of the longest events to the short stuff, as we're going to head over to the 50 backstroke after this. But first up, it is the men's 100 fly, S1 and S15 multi-class. Nathan Hendricks, S13, swimming out of Tshwane, and from Gauteng, James Willers, S10, the category.
Yes, but before those 50-meter backstrokes, we're going to have a quick medal presentation for the 200-meter IMs, ladies and gents.
Yeah, and we'll be seeing the likes of Matt Sates and Rebecca Meader go up to collect their medals. And who will emerge victorious from this? The men's 100 fly, S1 and S15. Nathan Hendricks, really good swimmer.
Yes, it is. Nathan Hendricks turning in a time of 27:39. So looking good to dip below that 1 minute mark.
Yeah, that was 1 minute, 0.23 he set in the heats. So he's absolutely cruising at the moment, is Nathan Hendricks.
Yes, and James turning in a time of 32. So he has about 37 seconds to come back to go faster than his morning heat time.
Can't willing him on. And he gets a 59.23. Superb stuff from Nathan Hendricks from Tshwane. And here comes Willers. This morning sitting at 1:10.49 and 1:10.40. So also improving on that.
It's great swim by these two.
There we have confirmation of those times. Nathan Hendricks, S13, doing so in a 59.23 in this men's 100 fly multi-class. And James Willers, 1:10.40. And that was in S10.
So as we look at the turn for this 100 meters butterfly. Yes, and as he finishes 59, what a swim.
And great to see the crowds making their way out here to Newton Park Swimming Pool in Gqeberha. Very popular venue. And of course, if you are in the area, a fan of swimming, fan of sport, get down here. See the cream of the crop of South Africa's swimming talent all in action. If you can't make it tonight, there's still 3 more nights to come. So, going to be heading over just now to the next race, but first up we will be having the medal ceremony. But it is the women's 50 backstroke. They'll be in action in a couple of minutes' time. So the medals will be handed out for the 200 IM, men and women.
As we see our VIPs and dignitaries coming forward for this ladies 200 IM medal presentation.
Yeah, you're going to hear the crowd roar because there were 2 sensational performances in both the men's and the ladies' race. Rebecca Meader, Matt Sates collecting gold. And that was KZN double in the 200 IM. And we will see them shortly. It's amazing to think yesterday in Gqeberha, pouring with rain, very cold, completely different day this time around. Nice and warm. Swimmers certainly have enjoyed the sun far more than yesterday, even though it is an indoor venue.
I think I brought the good weather with me.
You did. Thank you so much, Chanel.
I can't say the weather was much better in Cape Town. Also storming.
Jeez, I've come from Joburg, and the last 3 or 4 weeks been nothing but rain. As we move over now to the medal ceremony. So we're about to move over to the medal ceremony now of the women's 200 IM final.
Bronze medal goes to Georgia Els from Aquatics.
Georgia Els
Mountain
going up
Running.
to collect her bronze medal in the women's 200 IM. Congratulations to Georgia Els, the Tswane swimmer, 19 years of age. Bronze in the women's 200 IM.
Silver medal, Amy Kenny from Western Cape Aquatics.
Amy Kenny going over to collect silver. Another excellent swim from her. And a very special mention now.
The gold medal with the world champs, a qualifying time of 2 minutes 10.39 from KwaZulu-Natal Aquatics, Rebecca Meader. Let's give her a warm hand. Congratulations, Becky.
Brilliant stuff from Rebecca Meader and Chanel. Not only a qualifying time in the A qualifier, what else?
Also a new South African record.
Well done, Rebecca Meader. Absolutely brilliant. Blew away the competition. Simply sensational.
Incredible swim there by Becky, and swimming faster than she did at the Olympics.
Yeah, and that is exactly where she set that time. So Rebecca Meader blowing away the competition. But congratulations to the likes of George Els and Amy Kenny. Certainly great swims. Bronze and silver respectively, but gold and a new SA record going the way.
Event 202,
of
men
none other than
200
Rebecca
meter
Miller.
IM individual medley. Once again presented by Mr. Riza Ibrahim, President of Eastern Cape
And next
Aquatics.
up we have the
Assisted by
men's
Stella
200
Mwani,
IM
Director of
medalist.
Gqeberha. Bronze medal goes to Cameron Kasali from Aquatics Gauteng 20.
And in third place, we have Cameron Kasali.
Bronze for him in the men's 200 IM.
Receiving that medal from the president of Eastern Cape Aquatics.
Silver medal, Kian Kilok, Aquatics Gauteng 20.
Kian Keelock grabbing silver. Another Tshwane swimmer in the mix.
That's great swim there by Kian. But the real question is, what's in the bag?
Yes.
What is in the bag?
And then the gold medal with the world champs, a qualifying time of 1 minute 58.83 seconds from KwaZulu-Natal. Let's give a hand to Matt Sates.
Well done to Matt Sates, capturing gold and getting in that A qualifying time for Singapore in the men's 200 IM. So I've asked a few of the swimmers, Chanel, and they refuse to tell me what's in it. So the only logical thing we can do is you actually have to compete tomorrow and try and get on the podium.
Or maybe if I just ask them, they'll tell me. I think that's the easier way.
Probably also quite logical, bit more logical. There we have the three men on the top of the podium in the 200 IM. Great to see Aquele on board. At Cameron Kasali, Ken Keelock, and the man on top spot, Matt Sates.
All smiles after that great swim.
Yeah, that was certainly really good. Speaking to Dean Price a little earlier, you could see how impressed he was. I mean, we've spoken a little bit about how Matt Sates maybe have, I don't know, not so much poor form, but looked to have slowed down slightly in terms of his momentum. But wow, he has bounced back with a bang, Matt Sates. That smile is back, the performance is back.
Congratulations, you two.
That gold medal is back for Matt Sates. He is looking as strong as I've ever seen him.
See,
Thank
Derek,
you very
all
much,
you had
Mr.
to do was
Ibrahim.
ask nicely. I asked Mr. Kian Kilok what's in the bag,
Yep.
and he opened it up right in front of us. So it was a water bottle and a t-shirt,
Oh, nice.
and it seems like I'm going home with a t-shirt.
Hey,
sponsored
nice.
by JVL.
Nicely done. Okay, cool. So there we go. That's what's in the bag.
Now we know what's in the bag.
You well done. Well played. So that concludes the first bit of the medal ceremonies. As we head back to the action now, this is going to be very quick, very fast. As we move over to the women's 50 backstroke. First up will be that B final.
Yes, coming up a little bit later in that A final, we had 5 ladies making that B qualifying time. So it's anybody's race there.
Wow. Oh, that makes things very, very exciting. Looking at the A final, and as is the B final without a doubt. And they'll be making their way pool slide in a couple of moments' time. In what is the 8th race of the night of tonight's finals action.
Yes, in your picture we have Grace de Jong, the 19-year-old from the Western Cape. So our fastest qualifiers in lane 4 and lane 5, Bailey Lambert and Mila van der Linde. Both swimmers going a time of 30.09. So I'm sure these ladies will be hoping to dip under the 30-second mark.
Oh, this is going to be very, very tight.
Women 50
Not a single swim in the 29s, not a single swim in the 31s. This is going to be very tight amongst these competitors. Grace de Jong making her way out. She's very, very excited to be competing in the B final of the women's 50 backstroke. We're going to fly through these races.
Yes, in lane 2 we have Sune Liebenberg. In 3 it's Hannah Pierce. 4 Bailey Lambert. 5 Mila van der Linde. In 6 from the Western Cape, Cassidy Burgess. In 7 we have Jessica Carmody from KZN. And last but definitely not least, in lane 8, Carissa van Rooyen.
A nice spread in terms of the competitors and where they're from. From Western Cape, Tshwane, KZN.
You can see the ladies. You can see the ladies are adjusting the wedges.
So we always give this description when it comes to the 50s, but it is certainly fast. It is furious. It is the 50s. First up for the 50s, we've got the 50 backstroke. Women's B final. And away they go. Keep an eye out for Bailey Lambert over in lane 4. Only 15 years of age, a swimmer from KZN. Good start from her. She's going along very, very nicely.
Yes, great start there by Bailey.
As is Cassidy Burgess over in lane 6. But Bailey Lambert looking very, very strong. And we spoke about how closely grouped together those times were. So there's going to be nothing in this race.
Yes, Hannah Pierce also finishing strong.
This is going to be tight. And it goes to Hannah Pierce. You called it. 29.72 over in lane 3. Just pipping Bailey Lambert to the wall. Cassidy Burgess grabbing third. But well done, Hannah Pierce. What a finish from her.
Yes, Hannah also one of our great 200 meters backstroke swimmers. So building all the way, starting off a little bit slower, but finishing extremely strong.
What a finish there. Wow. And certainly coming through at the end there, Hannah Pierce. Bailey Lambert got off to a great start. And Hannah Pierce finished best.
Yes, so we had 2 of the ladies dipping under that 30-second mark.
So we move over now to the A final. You heard Chanel speaking about the swimmers that went and qualified for that B time. So the B time was 29.21. And we had no less than 5 swimmers underneath that mark. In fact, Taylor Jonker got the mark on the button, 29.21.
Yes, so in lane 1, it's Grace Morris. 2, Taylor Jonker. 3, Michaela de Villiers. 4, we have Jess Thompson. 5, Olivia Nell. 6, Mila Dropoklis. 7, Karen Hertz. And 8, Indiana de Villiers.
Wow, this is going to be extremely quick. And just mentioning in terms of the A qualifying time, that was 28.22, but that 29.21, the B qualifying time, 5 of those swimmers getting it this morning. So how are things going to unfold right now? Keep an eye on all the swimmers, also as well as Olivia Nell over in lane 5, the Western Cape swimmer and sister of Georgia.
Yes, I see Georgia will be up a little bit later in the mixed 4x100 freestyle relay. That's a great way to finish off tonight's finals.
Very, very much so. And this is going to be extremely tight, extremely fast. And just looking at those times, 5 of them getting within that B qualifying time for Singapore. And in the water they go. Don't move a muscle, folks. This is going to be fast. Morris, Jonker, de Villiers, Thompson, Nell, Dracopoulos, Haps, and de Villiers.
On your screen, we have Jess Thompson.
Great start there from Nell as well as Thompson. You'd expect it from lanes 5 and 4 respectively. And away they go. Thompson looking very strong already, just ahead of de Villiers and Nell.
Yes, Jess Thompson definitely having the longer of the underwater works from all the ladies.
Jess Thompson being challenged from Michaela de Villiers on her outside. 17 years of age, Jess Thompson.
Yes, and Olivia Nell also coming back very strong.
Nell
going to get their hands to the wall.
Oh, this is going to be great,
Oh,
and
I
it
think
is.
it's Jess.
Wow, that is superb. As we see the finish. Wow, waiting for confirmation of
So
those results.
It was so tight. Such a tight race.
We are waiting for the confirmation. It's unofficial for now, but Michaela de Villiers looking to have edged ahead of Jessica Thompson.
And Olivia Nell in third.
Yeah, we're waiting for confirmation of those results. There's a bit of an issue with the scoreboard. But Michaela de Villiers, wow, jeez, you couldn't call that.
Definitely couldn't call that. But it definitely looked like either Michaela de Villiers or Jess Thompson. So let's wait to see.
28.25, just outside that 8 qualifying time. That 8 qualifying time was 28.22.
Yes, missing it by 0.03.
And once again, well within that B qualifying time, a whole host of the swimmers.
I think the ladies are just as confused as we are.
Yeah, certainly so. They were looking up at the board. Unfortunately, the board just projecting the earlier results from the B final. So we are waiting to see exactly how things transpired. But of course, what we had on the screen now, it did look like Michaela de Villiers got there first. But we will wait for the official confirmation. That is the women's 50-meter backstroke done and dusted. As we move over to the men national.
Yes, the men's B final. In the background there, we had Ruud van Rienen getting ready for that A final. As we wait for the men's to line up for this B final.
Yeah, it's going to be great to see these competitors in action and having a look at those times. Everyone 27. No one in the 26s, no one in the 28s. So it's also going to be very tight amongst all 8. Neil Berger, Amant Landman, Chris Luss, Hayden Naidu, Christian Estes, and Dano van der Merwe, Halkard Muller, and Christopher Stradon.
Yes, it's setting up to be a great B final here at the Newton Park Pool.
Tell you what, it has been a great evening so far here in Gqeberha. And it's your first evening. Of course, you only got in last night. And how have you enjoyed your first day of action here at the SA Nationals?
I mean, I really can't complain. I'm walking away with a t-shirt. Thank you, Kian. Really appreciate that one. But no, I mean, some great racing so far. I mean, ladies 200 IM, Becky Mida swimming that South African and African record. Matt Sates 200 IM. We had Catherine van Rensburg making a B qualifying time. I was so close.
You were.
So close to calling that time. 16:39.99. I called 16:40, so kind of same, but not.
No, well done. And you're exceptionally proud of that, as you should be when you arrived back. Of course, so we had Dean Price in the hot seat. And as soon as you came back, you said, what time did I call?
Yes, then we had the 100 meters butterfly, S1 to S15. We had Alani Ferreira there, Oscar Everson, Minka Janssen van Rensburg, Nathan Hendricks, Jason Villas. So great swimming there. And yeah, the infamous ladies 50-meter backstroke, where we're still waiting to see who won.
Yep, we are still waiting for confirmation, and that is, in fact, also probably part of the delay. They're just trying to sort out the scoreboard, or the timing board, and that's what the wait is probably for, before things resume here in Gqeberha. And we will be wrapping up tonight, as always, with relays. And this time round, it's the mix 4x100 freestyle.
Yes, that's going to be a good one.
And that is mixed, so that's going to be really exciting to watch. Always nice. We finish things off with the relays and watch all the teams get behind their swimmers, and the screams are loud. They're very proud, and it's thoroughly exciting.
So there we see the scoreboard from the B final.
A little bit of wait until we head over to the men's 50 backstroke. Again, just a technical issue with the scoreboard. Getting that sorted ASAP, I'm sure. Before we see the men in action as they get their event underway. And after that, we'll be going from the short stuff to the long stuff once again, because then we'll see the men's 1500 freestyle in action. We saw the ladies a little earlier at 30 lengths of the pool. And who will be taking on that challenge? Well, it will be Caden Rolfe, Sven van der Linde, Matthew Goller, Rickard Muller, Matthew Caldwell, Connor Albertine, Stefan Engelbrecht, James Hewley. And just looking back at the start of tonight's proceedings, it's been a whirlwind of action here at Newton Park Swimming Pool in Gqeberha. And some fantastic highlights. You see Rebecca Meader, huge smile on her face, a new SA record, just beating her own SA record in the women's 200 IM. Brilliant performance that originally set over in Paris at the Olympics. But doing even better. She has had such a dominant start to the SA Swim Champs over the first 2 days. Matt Sates, saw him a little earlier, also doing really well in the men's 200 IM. And there's supreme focus amongst the swimmers.
I think that was for the 1500 for Catherine van Rensburg.
Wow, that was so good. And Dean Price, my guest who was in the studio, I mean, I keep on saying he was just simply blown away by that performance from Catherine, and rightly so. I mean, she completely blew away the opposition. This gives us an opportunity to thank the various sponsors for making this SA Swim Champs 2025 possible here at Newton Park Swimming Pool. National Lotteries Commission, Swimming SA, Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, Arena Aquile, and Southern Sun. Great to have them on board. Such proud partners, and making an event of this nature go by swimmingly. Still waiting, unfortunately, for the tech issues to be sorted out before we see the men's 50 backstroke take to the water. Both B and A finals.
Yes, coming up in that heat 2, where we have the A final. Peter Kutsia going that A qualifying time this morning. Jonah Paul Jones, Ruud van Reeden making B qualifying time. So that's definitely going to be a great race. After that, we'll have a short medal presentation for the ladies 1500 freestyle, followed by the 100 meters butterfly multi-class. Then we'll get back to the action in the pool with the men's 1500 freestyle. We have a couple of our VIPs.
Yeah, it is great. So the action looking to heat up here at Newton Park. And I see that the scoreboard has been reset, so we have had some change, so that's pretty good news. I'm sure it's just a Control, Alt, and Delete before they resume matters. So while we wait, I mean, it certainly hasn't dampened the spirits at all. The crowd certainly still look festive. A little bit of an issue. It will be sorted out in no time at all, I'm sure. Spoke about them Control, Alt, and deleting the scoreboard. It has been reset. We'll wait for the numbers to pop up once again. This timing is everything when it comes to these races, especially when it comes to 50 meters.
Yes, yes. No, 100%.
The crowd jamming to the beats here at Newton Park Swimming Pool.
It's always hyping the crowd back up for this men's 50-meter backstroke final coming up in a bit.
Oh, it looks like we have success. The board is back as we look back at some highlights from earlier in the evening.
It's the ladies 1500 freestyle. So again, Coach Troy Prinsloo and Mark Randall.
So good news, the board is back. I can imagine it won't be too long now until we see some action. And this is the B final that you can see the likes of Neil Berger, Armand Landman, Chris Luss, Caden Naidu, Christian Esterhazen, Dano van der Merwe, Halkard Muller, and Christopher Stradom. Oldest man in the pack, Chris Luss. He'll be swimming in lane 3 for Western Cape. The youngest, next to him, Armand Landman from Tshwane, just 16 years of age. And here we go. A little bit of a wait, but it never killed anyone.
No, never. Just gave the boys a little bit more time to regroup and get ready for this 50 back final.
Yeah, certainly so.
In 1, we have Neil Berger. And 2, Armand Landman. 3, Chris Luss. In our picture, that's Caden Naidu coming out in lane 4.
Lane 5, Christian Esterhazen.
5, we have Christian Esterhazen.
In lane 6, Dano van der Merwe.
6, Dano van der Merwe.
Lane 7, Helgard Muller.
7, Helgard Miller.
And in
In
lane
lane
8,
8, we have Christopher Stradom.
So it is the men's 50 backstroke, the B final. And looking at these times, everyone posting in the 27s earlier today. Mostly in the low 27s. All in the low 27s.
Yes, so it's going to take a great finish, possibly one extra butterfly kick on the underwater work, quick off the blocks.
Oh, we saw a little earlier Michaela de Villiers doing really well in the women's 50. And that was on lane 3. Can we have another lane 3 winner this time round? Well, those in lanes 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 will want to stop that.
In your picture, we have Caden Naidu.
And off they go. Another good start there for Caden Naidu over in lane 4. Next to him, Chris Luss, the Western Cape swimmer. Caden Naidu getting off a good start. He is being tested properly by Chris Luss, but Caden Naidu just in front.
Seems like Neil Berger out in lane 1 also having a crack of a race, but it seems to be all in the middle with about 50 meters to go.
Yeah, they certainly are putting pressure on Caden Naidu. This is going to be exceptionally tight. There's nothing to chew, but look in lane 5. I think that was Christian Esterhazen. It was 26.93, the only man to get below the 27 mark. Christian Esterhazen grabbing the victory. Armand Landman in lane 2 getting the second, and third going the way of Caden Naidu.
Yes, great swim there by Christian Esterhazen. As you said, only man to dip under 27-second mark.
So that wraps up the B final of the men's 50 backstroke. Now we head over to the A final. This is going to be great to watch. Peter Kutsia having already captured the A qualifying time. And the men alongside him, Jonah Poole-Jones and Roert van Renen, having got B qualifying times.
Yes, also just great chatting to Peter a little bit early on about his build-up for this meet and how he's handling balancing, swimming and studying, because he's studying psychology this year for the first time. So great to hear.
Yeah, it's insane to witness someone of that much talent and the amount of swimming he does, the amount of practicing he does, the amount of training he does, and yet still being able to top that up with his studies. It's pretty impressive, but he is a very impressive guy nonetheless. As we see the swimmers make their way out poolside, Cameron Thompson will be swimming in lane 1. Adrian van Wyk is in lane 2. Jonah Poole-Jones having already captured that B qualifying time in lane 3. And there's the man of the moment, Peter Gqeberha, having already grabbed his A qualifying time. He's in lane 4. Roert van Renen makes his way out now, also a B qualifier a little earlier. And lane 6, Vikas Otgieter, swimming for Western Cape. He's one of 4 swimmers from the Western Cape in this race. Ronan Turan will be in action in lane 7, swimming out of Tshwane. And last but certainly not least, from the Western Cape, 15 years of age, Eric Kotzer.
It's great experience for this youngster from the Western Cape.
Could we feasibly have a look out for an SA record? We've got Peter Gqeberha's earlier time at 24.56, but having a look at Gerard Zandberg having owned this one at 24.34. I mean, it's certainly not,
You never know.
outside the realms of possibility.
You never know. Yes, also great to see Gerard in and around Pool Deck. So I'm sure he'll be watching this one closely.
Yeah, well, it's job one done already for Peter Gqeberha, of course, having already grabbed that A qualifying time. Let's see, what will he manage now? And will the men alongside him try and put a stop to him winning? Jonah Poole-Jones in lane 3, Roert van Renen in 5, certainly the closest to put the pressure on. But all eyes on Peter Gqeberha in lane 4. And they are away.
Pretty even start by all the gentlemen.
Yeah, very good efforts there from Poole-Jones and van Renen.
But it looks like Peter slightly ahead of Ruard with 25 meters to go.
There he is, Peter Gqeberha. You can see him pulling away already. This is another great effort from Peter Gqeberha. And he will cruise over to the victory, doing so in 24.78. And that is a superb performance from Peter Gqeberha. 24.78. And the crowd going crazy, well within that qualifying time again, which he had already set. But the only man to dip below, 25. Wow.
Yes, followed by Jonah Poole-Jones, 25.70, and Roert van Renen, 25.92.
So, again, getting within those B qualifying times for the likes of Poole-Jones and van Renen. But Peter Gqeberha, a 24.78 for him.
Yes, comfortable victory, but those last 8 meters or so going towards the lane rope didn't really help.
And also that was actually slower than his heat time.
Yes, this morning he was very comfortably in the middle of the lane following the black line. So it's just a few little tweaks and he'll definitely get that SA record.
So, we'll break from the action for a little bit as we head over to the next lot of medals to be handed over. And these will be handed to the 1500 freestyle women as well as the 100 fly multidisciplinary men and women. And after the medals, we'll be heading over to another long one. It is the men's 1500. So, of course, we will see the women's 1500 collecting medals. And shortly, we will see the men in action, swimming. 30 laps of the pool once again.
Yes, followed by that dash for cash once again, 50 meters freestyle. The ladies and men S1 to S15, 50 meters freestyle. There we have our ladies in the screen. 1500 meter medalists.
Stephanie Hartmann going up to collect her bronze in the women's 1500. It was a clean sweep for Tshwane.
Yes, great effort there by Steph.
Callan Lotte, aquatics, Gauteng, Tshwane.
Callan Lotte next up to collect her silver. But there was no question as to who grabbed gold.
Yes, and also that B qualifying time for Worlds later on this year.
And the gold medal goes to Catherine van Rensburg, also from aquatics, Gauteng, Tshwane.
A clean sweep for Tshwane, but a sensational performance from Catherine van Rensburg, 20 years of age, getting in that B qualifying time in the women's 1500. And that was simply superb. Also, congratulations to the likes of Stephanie Hartmann and Callan Lotte, grabbing bronze and silver respectively, but the golden girl, Catherine van Rensburg.
I think they had the same curiosity that I had. What's in the bag?
Just needed to have a peek over at the table here as Chanel starts to make a little collection, as she starts asking the other swimmers as they walk past for more of their goodies.
Well, it is an extra large, so I can get one for you too, if you like.
Yes, please. Sounds fantastic. So that is the 1500 done. We move over now to the women's 100 fly, S1 to S15 multi-class.
President of Eastern Cape Aquatics. The bronze medal goes to Nasira Detoy from Western Cape Aquatics.
Nasira Detoy going up to collect her bronze, 16 years of age, swimming out of the Western Cape. This is in the women's 100 fly, S1 to S15 multi-class.
It's receiving the medal from one of our sponsors, Gqeberha. And the president of Eastern Cape Swimming.
Melissa Everson.
And in second place, we have Melissa Everson from KZN.
Yeah, one of two swimmers from KZN in this event. The other one we're about to see shortly.
The gold medal goes to Alani Ferreira.
And the gold medal goes to Alani Ferreira, also from KZN.
Yeah, that is another gold for her massive haul of gold over her career. She continues to collect. Does Alani Ferreira gold in the women's 100 fly, S1 to S15. Nasira Detoy grabbing bronze. And Melissa Everson grabbing silver. That's Alani Ferreira, partially sighted athlete. That usually has her faithful dog alongside her. And it's great to see, but Alani Ferreira, congratulations to her. Another victory, another gold medal to add to the collection. Congratulations, Alani.
Yes, I'm sure Nasira Detoy is definitely inspired. Only at the age of 16, standing on the podium at a SA Senior Nationals, looking at the likes of Alani 26 and Melissa 18. So many, many years ahead for her.
So one more set of medals to hand out. As we move over to the men's in the 100 fly, S1, S15.
Assisted by Mr. Reza Ibrahim, President of Eastern Cape Aquatics.
Great to see Reza Ibrahim, President of Eastern Cape Aquatics. Yeah, a great lover
Silver
of the
medal
sport.
goes to James Villas.
And they'll be handing over the silver to James Villas.
Yes, great swim there by James Villas. Swimming a time of 1:10.49 this morning, and this evening going 1:10.40. We have one of our spectators taking pictures on the other side of the pool.
Nathan Hendricks capturing gold. Swimmer out of Tshwane. Another gold to his rapidly growing collection. Well done to Nathan Hendricks and James Villas. These are the two swimmers in the men's 100 fly S1 and S15 multi-class.
Yes, James dipping under that 1 minute mark this evening, going 59 seconds. So well done to both gentlemen. Great camaraderie between the two.
Yeah, very much so. And that wraps up another medal ceremony. We'll be hosting one again in a while's time. It will be the 50 backstroke men's and women for the medals. But first up, plenty of action. So lots of action still to come here on night 2 of the SA Nationals, the SA Swimming Nationals here in Gqeberha.
Lane 1, Caden Rolfi.
And it is a long one as we move over now to the men's 1500.
Lane 2, Sven
Yes,
van der
in lane
Linde.
1 we have Caden Rolfi. And 2 coming out, Sven van der
Lane
Linde.
3, we have Matthew Goller.
In 3, Matthew Goller, age of 15 years old, so the entry
Let's
time
hear
of
it for lane
16
4,
minutes.
Richard Muller.
In 4, we have Richard Miller from the Western Cape.
Lane 5, we have Matthew Caldwell.
In 5, Matthew Caldwell.
Lane 6, Connor Albertine.
Coming out in lane 6, Connor Albertine.
Lane 7, Stefan Engelbrecht.
In 7, we have Stefan Engelbrecht.
And in lane 8, James Cooley.
And in lane 8, James Cooley. Yes, so in lane 4 we have Richard Miller, entered in on a B qualifying time of 15:28.61. And they're off 30 lengths of this pool. Pretty evenly into this first 50 meters. And it's Richard Miller turning in a time of 28.12, followed by Matthew Goller 28.45 and Matthew Cladwell 28.51. First 100 done and dusted, and it's Richard Miller turning in a time of 58.50, followed by Matthew Cladwell, 58.89, and Matthew Goler, 59.47. With me, we have Mila, hot off the press from swimming her events a little bit earlier tonight, 50-meter backstroke. Take us through that event, Mila.
So yeah, I felt pretty confident going into the race. I have been dealing with a bit of a sickness, so I had to kind of overcome that. Over the last 2 days, I've definitely learned mind over matter. I mean, I kind of had to forget that I was sick and just kind of do my best. So I didn't get the time that I hoped for, but just learning new things. Obviously racing sick is something completely different and not something I'm used to, so yeah, I can't beat myself up on it.
Sharon, what happened?
So on Saturday, I kind of just started getting a bit of a sore throat, and then it kind of just went very downhill from there, and I've been on 2 courses of antibiotics, so yeah, I'm kind of just taking it easy. I've scratched the 100 free tomorrow, going back to the doctor. But yeah.
Well done for stepping up and swimming that 50-meter backstroke. So take us through, how's this year been for Mila so far?
Yeah, so I've done my first term of matric, and it's been very difficult. I kind of leave the house at 5 a.m. and I get back at 6 o'clock at night. And so yeah, I've been pushing it really hard, and I just couldn't control that I got sick. But I'm actually more grateful that I've learned new things about myself and how I race. I mean, yesterday in the final, to go 101 sick is actually good.
I always say you don't learn about yourself when things are going well. You learn about yourself when we're going through these tough times. And I mean, for you now, it's obviously, unfortunately, falling sick before this meet. But yeah, standing up here and still racing, kudos to you.
Thank you.
So how's the rest of the year looking for Mila?
So I'm just going to finish my track, first of all. I don't really actually know what galas are coming up. I still have to speak to Wayne about that. Don't know if we're going to go to any of the World Cups or anything like that. I think the main focus is the training. I mean, I go overseas once a month, once every 2 months. It's been my reality the last 3 years.
Yes.
So I think I'm going to stay at home and train and carry on training.
I think for all the young up-and-coming swimmers out there, what advice would you give them in the sense of how do you balance school and your crazy training schedule?
Yeah, I think you kind of just have to take at your own pace, look at yourself. You can't compare yourself to others. That's something that I've learned is a big thing. And doing your best, that's all you can do. And know that you can push it that 10% harder, and you've got to want it more than the other person. So, yeah.
And also that it is possible.
Yes, it is possible. It is very possible.
Because look at you doing your final year of matric. Here you are at SA Senior Nationals doing your thing. Yes, as you said, not as well as you would like to be doing, but going a 101, 100 backstroke, sick, finishing so many courses of antibiotics.
Yeah.
I mean, great. Well done.
Thank you.
And what else are you racing in the next few days?
Yeah, so I've got the 50 free, if everything's okay, tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm just going to rest and see how I am. And then I got the turner back on Sunday, and then some relays. I'm entered in some relays.
Okay, yay. Definitely looking forward to these up-and-coming events for you. So good luck for the rest of the meet, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Chanel.
Thank you, Mila. to the action of the men's 1500 meter freestyle. Currently in first place, we have Richard Miller, 7:16.25, followed closely by Matthew Caldwell. And another Matthew out in lane 3, currently in third. In your picture, we have Douglas Erasmus. It's a very well-known swimmer, 1500 freestyle, coaching out in Pretoria. But there's nothing in it between these two gentlemen.
Halfway mark in the men's 1500.
Yes, both of them looking very comfortable. Don't want to give too much away because we still have 14 laps of the pool to go.
14 laps, yes, you heard correctly. And just part the halfway mark.
Yes, turning at the 800 meter mark, Richard 8:19.89 and Matthew 8:20.19.
A reminder earlier, of course, in the women's 1500, we saw a sensational performance from Catherine van Rensburg, getting in that B qualifying time for Singapore. Will we see a similar result over in the men? And after this event, we still have 6 races to go. Yeah, at Newton Park Swimming Pool.
Yes, it was great talking to Mila not so long ago, talking about how she was prepared, she was definitely ready for this competition, and unfortunately falling ill on Saturday. So her nationals looking very different, having to navigate through a few things, but it's also just great to hear all the different swimmers' experiences and for the youngsters out there to learn from it.
Yeah, always a great competitor and a great speaker is Mila Dracopoulos. We just saw Peter Williams in picture there as coach of Waterborne over in Gauteng, but also a previous world record holder.
Yes, and it looks like Matthew Caldwell starting to make his move in this 1500 meters, turning in first place, 9:53.52, followed closely by Richard, 9:54.45.
Just reiterating those qualifying times when it comes to the A qualifier, 15:01.89, and the B qualifier, 15:33.46. But we'll get to those numbers in a long time still. And Richard Miller going into this one with that B qualifying time.
And we have 500 meters to go.
The record when it comes to this event as far as South Africans are concerned, Hammond Hedden, or Hedden Hammond, and that was set back in 2010, 14:57.88. So kudos to the fans staying around and watching this super test of just pure resilience and fitness. I mean, it's I know I keep on almost run out of adjectives to describe how these swimmers manage to do it, and I know we've spoken about it prior when it comes to long course swimming, open water swimming. This is kind of a walk in the park to some of the distances that they are used to in the open water competition. But it's still very, very long. 30 laps of the pool to take on.
Yes, Matthew Caldwell increasing that lead by about 3 seconds now, starting to bring in that kick.
Yeah, Caldwell swimming out of Ekurhuleni.
Yes, just over 200 meters to go.
Caldwell having 7 laps of the pool left, as does the man next to him, Richard Muller.
Yes, Richard not giving up, fighting hard with 7 laps to go. It's always interesting to see in these longer events, when do you bring in the kick? looks like Matthew started bringing it in the last 500 meters.
Looked like Catherine van Rensburg brought it in lap 1. A little earlier.
Lap 1.
Watching Peter Williams now, the coach, very animated on the sidelines. Peter Williams, originally hailing from this part of the world, was at Grey High School.
Yes, I think Matthew's swimming with Douglas Erasmus. You can see Doug on the stand with his program in his hand. Come on, let's go.
Remember last year we actually went and had a bit of a party at Peter Williams' place. Always an iconic event to go to when it comes to the ESA Nationals. A lot of the coaches head over there midway through the week.
It's also good for a little bit of downtime.
Yeah, very much so.
With this long program that we have.
And I'm happy to tell you that we cracked another invite for this week at Peter's favorite place, his famous place. The local legend. Facing Karteng now, but loves returning home. So it is still Matthew Caldwell out in front. The 19-year-old from Ekeleni. So he's got 3 laps to go. So when he returns,
he'll be receiving the bell.
Yep. For who the bell tolls, it will be for Caldwell. Well, first up, everyone will receive a bell once they've got 2 laps to go. And here comes Caldwell, almost lapping a fellow competitor. And there is the bell for Matthew Caldwell. What does that mean? Well, he only has 2 laps to go. 28 done. 100 meters left. And the man also hearing the bell. Right next to him, Richard Muller, the Western Cape swimmer. So a reminder once again that B qualifying time, 15:33.46.
I think we're going to be slightly out of that time.
And you heard my co-commentator / Nostradamus predict that earlier time from Catherine van Rensburg. So whatever she predicts, you certainly need to hear it very, very closely. As Caldwell makes his way to the finish. Final lap underway. Swimming ahead of Richard Muller, the 22-year-old. It is a nice finish from Richard Muller, but Caldwell has dominated matters, and this has been a supreme effort from him. Unfortunately, he is going to be out of the B qualifying time, but he will capture the victory. Well done, Matthew Caldwell. A victory in 15:37.17, and Richard Muller coming through at 15:43.95. Beautiful swims from those 2 swimmers. And capturing 3rd spot in lane 7, Stefan Engelbrecht, swimming out of Karteng. Now we can breathe. Tiring watching. Just imagine what it's like competing in that. 30 laps of swimming done and dusted.
I think it's very exciting to watch.
Ooh,
because
yeah.
there's so many different strategies when it comes to the longer distances. Whereas if it's 50, it's a dash for cash. You have to sprint. You don't really have a choice.
Well, we're going to see that now, because the events coming after that, we're going to have the women's 53 S1 to S15 multi-class, but confirmation of the results in the men's 1500. Matthew Caldwell capturing the victory in 15:37.17 ahead of Richard Mulder, and it was Stefan Engelbrecht coming through in 3rd spot over in lane 7. But congratulations to Matthew Caldwell, no doubt. We will see him a little later at the medal ceremony. So that is another event done and dusted. There are the thumbs up all round, rightly so.
Yes, we're moving on to the, as I like to call it, the dash for cash.
And before we head over to the dash for cash, it's the long marathon to money.
The marathon to money. Well, I guess to your goodie bag, no?
Yes.
Yes, well done to all of those competitors. As the officials start making their way to the other side of the pool for the 50 meters freestyle S1 to S15.
Yeah, these are going to be extremely quick. And of course, first up, we will have the women in action.
Yes, as the officials make their way to the other side of the pool for this 50 meters freestyle. Some great racing there, where we had Danica Venka this morning, only one dipping under that 30-second mark, going a time of 29.85.
Tell you what, Danica Venka, I mean, last night, she was just a phenom when it came to the results. Pretty much made her home at the top of the podium when it came to the medal presentations. Brilliant swims from her last night. Can she repeat the feat this time around?
Seeing that she's getting so many goodie bags, I mean, there we go. Could be another
I
goodie
reckon,
bag for you.
Yeah, you can certainly add to your collection. I have 0. You have goodie bags.
I'm sure I can organize one for you.
Thank you, I'd love that. So, here come our athletes in the next event, the women's 50 free S1 to S15 multi-class. Kat Swanepoel, she'll be swimming out of lane 1.
So we had all smiles there from Kat Elwood in lane 2.
Lane 3, Melissa Gqeberha. We've seen her in action already tonight.
In 4, we have Danica Venka.
She certainly needs no introduction. And then we've got Ivana Venka swimming in lane 5.
One of the characters we have always smiles. Minka van der Westhuizen out in lane 6.
And Alnay Potgieter, just 13 years of age, and she's competing in the S10 category. And Nazira du Toit heads out for lane 8. And there we have confirmation of these competitors, only 50 meters. And again, we reiterate, it's not about them competing against each other, it's about competing within their own swimming times, given the fact that it is multi-class disciplines.
And in your screen, we have Minka Jansen van Rensburg from the Western Cape.
And away they go. It's only 50 meters, so 1 lap. And then it is done and dusted. Multi-class competitors, all in action. Kat Swanepoel, Kate Elwood, Melissa Gqeberha, Danica Venka, Ivana Venka, Minka Jansen van Rensburg, Alnay Potgieter, and Nazira du Toit.
Yes, looks like the action is in the 2 yellow lanes for this 50 meters freestyle. And it is Danica Venka, 39.79, posting a time faster than this morning. In second, Ivanka Venka, 31.08, and Melissa Everson in third, 32.42.
Kat Swanepoel coming through, and that S5 category, the Johannesburg swimmer doing so in 46.91.
Yes, also going faster than the time that she posted this morning of 48 seconds. So
Yeah.
well done to Kat.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I mean, her story just grows rapidly. Her legend grows with the amounts of records she just continues to break, the performances she manages to produce. And those are some very impressive swims. And obviously it goes without saying, given the fact that some of the competitors are partially sighted, we do have the assistance with the poles, just letting them know when they're near the end of the lap, or the end of the race, so to speak. And that is the women complete when it comes to the S1 to S15 multi-class 53. But now we move over to the men's side of the draw.
Yeah, so looking at the men's 50 meters freestyle, S1 to S15, getting ready for their race. And there we see Minka walking past us, always smiles.
Yeah, what a character.
Lovely to have conversations with her.
Certainly one of the most popular swimmers here every year in Gqeberha. We have 5 more races to go. And next up, we've got the men competing in the 53 S1 to S15 multi-class.
So in lane 1, we have Tianza Blanche. In 2, we have Leon Kutza. 3, Gosh Niebacher. In 4, we have Christian Sadi in your picture. In 5, we have Nathan Hendricks. In 6, we have Tokizani Ganida. And 7, Amkele Kamarara.
Once this race is done, we will head over to the medal ceremony, and that will be for the 50 backstroke women and men. But before we get to that, excitement aplenty in this event. The men's 53 S1 to S15 to Blanche, Kutza, Nina, Sadi, Hendricks, Ganinda, Kamarana, and Villas.
In your picture, Christian Sadi from the Western Cape. And they're off in this men's S1 to S15, 50 meters freestyle.
Plenty of different classes. Villas and Kutza competing in the same S10. We've got Hendricks and Blanche. And they're over in S13s, the S7s. Ganinda and Sadi. Siamkele Kamarana.
It looks like Nathan Hendricks in lane 5, 25.11. What a swim by him.
Well, we've already seen Nathan Hendricks collect gold so far this evening. And we'll see him a little later to see confirmation of what he managed to achieve. But a great swim from him once again. 25.11 for Nathan Hendricks.
In second place, we have Christian Sadi coming in with a time of 28.72.
Yeah, a man who certainly needs no introduction as well. And Amkele Kamarana, also right up there. Well done to our men's 53 S1 to S15 multi-class swimmers. And Nathan Hendricks just showing his skill once again. Excellent performance from him. And I reckon he'll be seeing another gold medal come his way a little later.
Yes, so heading into a short break from the pool, we will have medal presentation for the men's and ladies 50 meters backstroke.
We have 4 more races to go after this. And one of them, certainly one of the marquee ones, the men's 200 fly. Certainly a very famous race as far as South Africans are concerned. We'll never forget what took place over in London. 2012. Chandler Clough capturing gold by beating the most decorated Olympian in history, Michael Phelps, in the 200 fly.
Yes, and we had a great swim this morning by Chris Mihalov. Only 17 years old. Definitely slowing down with that last 50 meters to go.
Yeah, he certainly is one to watch for the future, is Chris Mihalov. And This is looking back at some of the highlights from this evening, and undoubtedly the biggest highlight there was Rebecca Meader breaking her own SA record when it came to the women's 200 IM.
There we have Tian Keelock in picture. Thanks once again for the t-shirts. He said I have to give him a shout out, so.
Of course. It was Beat that we saw there, capturing the win a little earlier. The Eastern Cape swimmer, a really good performance from him. Also a man to watch out for in the future, also very, very young. It has been a fantastic night of swimming here in Gqeberha, but the night is not done yet. We're going to head over to a medal ceremony shortly before we wrap up the evening with the 200 fly and that mixed 4x100 freestyle relay.
Yes, and we'll actually get to see who came top 3 for this ladies 50 meters backstroke.
Yeah, that was a big question mark, actually. So, of course, it led to, unfortunately, the scoreboard being a little faulty, and a number of competitors, the commentators sat by watching, the fans, not quite certain. We did have it a little earlier as...
Yes, that's what led to that little delay we had a bit early on.
Yeah, and when we were looking, the initial thoughts were that it was Michaela de Villiers coming out with the victory ahead of Jessica Thompson and Olivia Nell, if I'm not mistaken, but we will have confirmation of that shortly.
Yes, as we wait for our medal winners from the 50 meters backstroke. Having a look at some of our swimmers in the stand.
Yeah, congratulations once again to everyone who managed to ensure that this event takes place. Again, without a hitch, and again with brilliant success, which has been the case over the last couple of years. Has been the home of the SA Swim Champs. Newton Park Swimming Pool in Gqeberha. Always one of the highlights on the swimming calendar when it comes to South Africans and their swimming prestige. We've got the Junior Africa Champs taking place in Egypt at the end of the month. Also something to watch out for. And then we've got the South African Junior Champs. And that's an event that's close to your heart, Chanel.
Yes, because in my hometown for the first time.
Of course, the big one, Singapore. We keep on speaking about those qualifying times, and people are asking, well, what are they qualifying for? What is the big time that they're trying to get? Well, that is what they are looking to qualify for. The World Champs taking place in Singapore. But those A qualifying times and the B qualifying, A qualifying, get that, and you book your ticket to Singapore. It's got 8 junior teams going over to Zimbabwe. It is the African Development Champs. And that is organized by African Aquatics, which is part of World Aquatics. So, exciting times ahead.
Yes, very exciting times ahead.
The water sports world from the South African perspective, covering all bases as we get ready for the next 2 medal presentations before we wrap up proceedings with the final 4 races. Lovely to see the amount of fans that are here at Newton Park. despite the clock having just gone past 8 o'clock. As we welcome now our medalists in the 50 backstroke. Congratulations to Olivia Null, grabbing bronze in the women's 50 backstroke. Jessica Thompson capturing silver. Jessica swimming out of Ekuleni. But the winner, well, you're going up shortly, Kayla de Villiers. A superb performance from her in the women's 50 backstroke. It was an extremely tight race, but it is the Western Cape swimmer, Michaela de Villiers. Watch the fist bump, see the smile, and that is gold for Michaela. What a performance from Michaela de Villiers, grabbing gold in the women's 50 backstroke. And well done once again to the bronze and silver winners in the event. Jessica Thompson grabbing silver and Olivia Null grabbing bronze. So from the women we head over to the men now. Ruud van Reenen going up to collect his bronze when it comes to the men's 50 backstroke. A very good effort from him. Getting in that B qualifying time for Singapore. Jonah Poole-Jones going up to collect silver. Another Western Cape swimmer. Also getting within that B qualifying time. But when it came to the A qualifying time, no surprises. Who emerged victorious? Who grabbed the win? It is the Olympian. And Peter Kutsia doing the job once again. The man from Tshwane making no mistake in the 50 backstroke. Gold for Peter. Well, what a performance from all three. 2B qualifying times and that A qualifier from Peter Kutsia. Jonah Poole-Jones, Ruud van Reenen, and Peter Kutsia.
That gold medal is blinging on the screen.
It's blinding. Yeah, celebrations all round. Well done to the performers. And thank you very much to our dignitaries for the handover and the medal ceremony. So 4 races to go in the night before we wrap things up. And next up, we move over to the 200 fly. It's a cracker.
So only one final here for the ladies. And we'll have 2 finals for the men.
Yeah, that certainly is the case. No A and B this time round for the women. Just one straight up race, as they'll make their way poolside for the 200 fly. Tasman Robson from Swane. She'll be racing out of lane 1. And from Gauteng, Lee McMorrin, the 20-year-old, competing in lane 2. In lane 3, Abigail Kotza, the Western Cape swimmer. Another Tshwane swimmer, 22 years old, Dunay Kutsia. She certainly needs no introduction. And now we are going to have a whole host of Eastern Capers, as you can hear from the crowd. Jamie Moat, you saw how well she did today in the heats. Gqeberha van Heerden, the second of 4 Eastern Capers to be competing. Morgan Kroos in lane 7. And in lane 8, Mara Vaduya. No question who the locals are supporting.
Yes, definitely looks like the Eastern Cape coaches are doing something right with this 200 meters butterfly.
Yeah, lanes 5 to 8, all represented by Eastern Cape swimmers. And Jamie Moat, just 16 years of age. She looked very impressive this morning during the heats. But Dunay Kutsia looks impressive 24/7, the way she performs. The swimmer out of Tshwane, and they're about to get their race underway. Women's 200 fly. And this is theoretically the A final, the only final. No A and B.
Yes, these ladies will be looking for a B qualifying time of 2:13.73.
Dunay Kutsia coming into this event following the heats with a 2:18.10. She did take her foot off the gas towards the end though.
Yes, Abigail Kutsa, the 15-year-old from the Western Cape, out strong in lane 3. So is Jamie Moat out in lane 5.
So Gqeberha van Heerden from the Eastern Cape just ahead of her teammate Jamie Moat. Dunay Kutsia holding on to 3rd place. I think that will change over these next couple of laps, as Dunay Kutsia certainly does start to make her presence felt.
Yes, but Gqeberha van Heerden not letting it go, fighting.
Yeah, this is very impressive from the Eastern Capers, and that is why there are so many in the pool. Dunay Kutsia has edged her way in front. Only just, though. She makes a turn at 1:04.01. 2 laps to go. She's ahead of Jamie Moat, with Gqeberha van Heerden holding on to 3rd spot. And now Dunay starts to put on those afterburners that we spoke about.
Yeah, she's going to have to come back in about a 1:08 if she's going to get that qualifying time of a 2:13.73. Let's see what Dunay Kutsia can do.
I'll tell you what, Abigail Kutsa is certainly putting in a good performance as well. This is really good from her. They're putting the pressure on Dunay, but Dunay is still out in front, ahead of Abigail Kutsa and Jamie Moat in 3rd. And this is the final push, the final lap of the women's 200 fly. Dunay Kutsia, a reminder once again, 2:13.73 is that B qualifying time.
Yes, that 50 was about a 34 and change, so let's see what you can do with 20 meters to go.
Well, you can hear the crowd willing her on.
Yes, and Jamie Moat coming back strong.
This is brilliant from Jamie Moat. She's pushing hard, putting the pressure on Dunay Kutsia. This is a superb performance from Jamie Moat. This can be tight. Dunay Kutsia holding on, and Dunay Kutsia does hold on for the victory. 2:14.74, just outside that B qualifying time, unfortunately. Jamie Moat grabbing 2nd, and 3rd place going the way of Lee McMorrin. Dunay Kutsia, a great performance, and what a fight back from Jamie Moat, the Eastern Caper. You could hear the crowd getting behind her, behind the local star. But Dunay Kutsia, the victor from Tshwane. Confirmation of those results. Dunay Kutsia in 1st. In 2nd, Jamie Moat. And in 3rd spot, Lee McMorrin. So only one event from the women's side, but on the men, we'll have 2 different races. We've got a and a B final. First up will be that B final.
Yes, as we watch the highlights of this A final for the 200 meters butterfly. What a great last 50 there by Jamie Moat.
Yeah, really is someone to watch out for in the future. Still very young, just 16 years of age. And yeah, taking the fight to a stalwart in the form of Danae Kutsia. As the swimmers emerge from the water now, done and dusted. And we move over to the men, and then we welcome back some women for the mixed 4x100 freestyle relay, which will end all proceedings for the evening. And this is day 2 of the SA National Swimming Champs. 5 days of action, not even at the halfway point. As we get ready to welcome out our competitors in the 200 fly, the men's B final. First up, Trent Norton. Keontae Reynard will be competing in lane 2, another 19-year-old, and then 18-year-old Brandon Linda in lane 3.
In 4, we have Tylee Pearson. In 5, Corné LaRue. In 6, the 18-year-old from the Western Cape, Keegan Wright. In 7, we have Kai Vellan. And 8, we have Gabriel West.
So that is confirmation of the 8 competitors in the B final of the men's 200 fly. Norton, Reynard, Linda, Pearson, LaRue, Wright, Whelan, and West. The third last event of the night, men's 200 fly.
Yes, after the men's 200 meters butterfly, we'll have a short break with 2 medal presentations, and then we get on to the mixed 4x100 freestyle relay.
In they go. First of 4 laps in the men's 200 fly, the B final. Well, a good start over in lane 4 for Tylee Pearson, swimming out at 20. Then look at lane 2. Wow. Keontae Reynard wasting no time whatsoever.
Yes, big first 50 by him, going out in a time of 27.25, followed by Tylee Pearson, 27.74.
Brandon Linda closely on their shoulders. At the moment, though, it's a shootout between Pearson and Reynard holding the edge.
Yes, but as we saw in the previous race, that from length to length, the positions can change.
Well, you spoke about this third lap being brutal.
And it is Tylee Pearson turning in first, 59.55.
Yeah, the only swimmer to get behind 1 minute at the halfway mark. Tylee Pearson does lead the way. And as I say, that's still Keontae Reynard taking the fight to him. So this is looking to be a great battle between those 2 front runners. Wow, there's nothing to choose. Looks as if Keontae has managed to take over top spot. No, in fact, Tylee got the touch, only just.
Yes, and Corné LaRue currently in third, turning in a time of 1:36.33.
And Tylee Pearson now starting to pick up speed and open up a little bit of a gap between himself and his competitors. That is the man in picture. Tylee Pearson looking strong, and he pulls away from the pack. Look to his left, and you saw that Reynard was no match for him at the end, and Tylee Pearson grabbing the victory ahead of Keegan Wright. Didn't even worry about Keegan Wright in the end. He kept on looking at Keontae Reynard, and Kai Whelan grabbing third. But what a performance from Ty Lee Pearson in lane 4, doing so in 2:08.45.
Yes, Keegan Wright coming back very strong in that last 50 to finish in second place, 209.46. Followed by Kai in 209.96 in third.
Yes. Looking back at the highlights of that race, it was a great battle up front during the early stages between Ty Lee Pearson and Keontae Raynaud. And interesting to see how Ty Lee in the front, he just kept on looking to his left, worrying about Raynaud. But in the end, it were the swimmers to his right that were his biggest threat. But in the end, they turned out to be no threat at all, because he completely dominated proceedings. As we see David Gqeberha in picture now, the man who hails from this part of the world, coach of the Eastern Cape side, as we welcome the swimmers for the men's 200 fly A final. This is a biggie, folks. Jonathan Els will be competing in lane 1. Dylan Wright from the Western Cape in lane 2. Brandon Chapman comes out, swimming out of lane 3. And here are the big names that we spoke about. Chris Mielov, he'll be in lane 4. Matt Sates wanted to walk ahead of him. Here's Matt Sates now, getting his order slightly wrong. Won't want to do that in the pool. Oh, it's going to be a great battle, this, Chanel.
Yes, it's going to be a great battle between the two.
So Benjamin Plattner will be competing in lane 6. Guy Vessels in lane 7. And last but certainly not least, you can hear by the roar of the crowd, this man is from the Eastern Cape. One of 2 Eastern Capers competing, Nicholas Pretorius. The other one being Brandon Chapman over in lane 3. The penultimate race of the evening, and it is certainly one of the marquee ones, 200 fly. It's an event where South Africa owns a previous gold medal in when it comes to the Olympics. Four laps of the pool. Keep your eye on lanes 4 and 5. The battle between Mielov and Sates. It's going to be a humdinger. So very good start out in lane 5 from Matt Sates. Hardly surprising, taking the fight to Mielov. He's looking very strong as Matt Sates. So it is Sates out in front, ahead of Benjamin Plattner and Mielov in third. Nothing to choose between them, but Matt Sates holding on to top spot. Can he stay there?
Yes, as we said, still a long way to go in this men's 200 meters butterfly.
Very much so. Starting to pull away slightly. Not even at the midway mark. And as I say that, Mielov comes back to close the gap. Those qualifying times, the B qualifying time, 2 minutes, 0.59.
Matthew Sates turning in a time of 56.40, followed by Chris, 57.18. And Brandon Chapman currently in third, 58.49.
Crowd willing on Chapman.
And here we go, third 50. Here comes Chris.
Yeah, Chris certainly pushing hard. It's going to be between those two. And as we say that, Matt Sates now looking to pull away. But Chris is not letting him get out of reach. This is going to be a great finish.
0.6 in it.
Sates just ahead of Mielov.
And here we go, last 50.
Keep an eye on that time. Remember that B qualifying time, 2:00.59.
Here we go.
This is turning into a superb race. Chris Mielov, he is taking the fight to Matt Sates. Matt Sates still in front. Sates.
And the legend, Chad Leclos on the phone.
That is fantastic. Matt Sates making it in 1:57.71. That is sensational, just outside that A qualifying time, but inside 2:00. So getting in that B qualifier, as does Chris Mielov. What a swim from Matt Sates and Chris Mielov. Superb effort from the men once again. There is the winner, Matthew Sates, cruising into that A qualifier, doing so in a time of 1:57.71. Mielov 1:58.18. And in third spot, Dylan Wright. He came through out of lane 2, the Western Cape swimmer, 2:02.86. The penultimate race of the night is complete. We'll head through now to one more set of medals. And then we'll have the final race of the night. It is the mixed 4x100 freestyle mixed relay. Wow, Matthew Sates, well done.
Yes, great swim there.
Oh.
2 A qualifying times.
And full credit must go as well to Chris Mielov. I mean, he just never gave up. Not that he would. But, man, those were 2 great performances. And, yeah, it shows by virtue of the fact that they both booked their times through to Singapore at the World Swimming Champs. So one more race to go, but before we do, we will have another set of medals to hand out. And a reminder once again that final race of the evening will be the mixed 4x100 freestyle relay.
Yes, always great watching the men's 200 butterfly. Those crazy things happening there.
Yeah, it was great. Chanel, you put Chad Leclerc
Yes.
on the video call, so Chad could watch that live, theoretically as well. It's great to see Chad following this race with massive interest, of course. This is the one where he beat Michael Phelps back at London 2012.
Yes, Chad on the video call. And then also Noah Ponte's coach, where Matt Sates has been training for the past couple of months, also messaging to say, hey, what about the Turner fly? Give me some results. I'm like, well, it's currently happening.
Another great night in Gqeberha, another great night at Newton Park Swimming Pool.
Yes, so great coach and great athlete.
So the next set of medals that will be handed over will be for the 1500 freestyle men and the 50 free multi-disability women and men. Again, a big thank you to the various sponsors, the organizers, everyone getting behind this terrific week of swimming here in Gqeberha. National Lotteries Commission, Swimming SA, Department for Sports, Arts and Culture, Arena Aquile, and Southern Sun. Our dignitaries making their way back out poolside for the next set of medals as we welcome our various winners. Gold, silvers and bronze. A recap once again on some of the
Medal
highlights.
ceremony to men 1500 meter freestyle. Presented by Ms. Daphne Bird, Competitions Manager of Swimming South Africa and also Technical Committee Member of World Aquatics.
So we move over now to the medal ceremony for the men's 1500 free.
And in third place, we have Stefan Engelbrecht.
Stefan swimming out of Gauteng, 17 years of age.
Silver medal goes to Richard Miller, Western Cape Aquatics.
And in second place, we have Richard Miller from Western Cape.
And our gold medalist, Matthew Caldwell, Aquatics Gauteng, Ekurhuleni.
And our gold medalist, Matthew Caldwell.
What a win for Matthew Caldwell. He dominated matters from start to finish. 19-year-old out of Ekurhuleni, capturing gold in the men's 1500.
And there you have it, our medal winners for the men's 1500 meters freestyle. Big thank you to our dignitaries for handing out medals.
Yeah, always doing a great job as always. As we now move on to the next medal ceremony. This will be for the 50 free multi-disability for the women and the men.
Medal ceremony for the women 50-meter freestyle multi-class. Again presented by Ms. Daphne Bird, Competitions Manager of Swimming South Africa and Technical Committee Member of World Aquatics. Assisted by Ms. Theresa Ibrahim, President of Eastern Cape Aquatics. Bronze medalist, Ivana Finker, Aquatics Gauteng, Tshwane.
And in third place, that was Ivana Venka. Receiving a medal from Ms. Daphne Bird.
Silver medalist, Danica Finker, Aquatics Gauteng, Tshwane.
And in second place is Danica Venka.
And our gold medalist, Minke Jansen van Rensburg, Western Cape Aquatics.
And our gold medalist from the Western Cape, Minke Jansen van Rensburg.
Yeah, of course, we spoke about that massive smile that's always adorned on the face of Minke. And there it is once again. And who can deny it? Another gold for Minke Jansen van Rensburg. Lovely stuff.
And there her father is taking a picture from the stands.
Oh, his biggest, well, her biggest supporter. Always here. Oh, she does a great job in supporting her exploits, her prowess in the pool. Congratulations to Minke, capturing gold.
It's well done to our ladies in the S1 to S15, 50 meters freestyle category.
Medal ceremony for the men
One more
50
medal
meter freestyle
presentation to
multi
go. Men's 50 meters freestyle, S1 to S15.
Presented by Ms. Daphne Bird, Competitions Manager of Swimming South Africa and also Technical Committee Member of World Aquatics. Assisted by Ms. Theresa Ibrahim, President of Eastern Cape Aquatics. Bronze medalist, Josh Nienaber, Aquatics Gauteng, Johannesburg.
Josh Nienaber grabbing bronze in the men's 50 free, S1 to S15 multi-class. Swimming out of Gauteng.
Silver medalist, Christian Saudi, Western Cape Aquatics.
Christian Sadi grabbing silver, the Western Cape swimmer, and a man who's already seen top spot tonight, and he'll be making his way back to top spot shortly. And the man I'm talking about is none other than Nathan Hendricks.
And the gold medalist, Nathan Hendricks, Aquatics, Gauteng 20.
Nathan Hendricks grabbing gold yet again. He's making top spot his own here in Gqeberha. This is the men's 50 free S1 to S15 multi-class medals complete. And congratulations to the likes of Josh Niedaber, Christian Sadi, and the winner, Nathan Hendricks. One race to go here at Newton Park Swimming Pool, and it's a relay. Always fun.
Congratulations to all medal winners. And thank you, Ms. Bird and Mr. Ibrahim, for presenting the medals for us.
Mixed 4x100 freestyle relay. Always exciting, Chanel, to see this in action. And it's great seeing, obviously, a very full pool, but also this is where the teammates come and support. These are where we hear the most screams from their various teammates, etc., and the teams competing.
Yes, and also for this event, we have 2 ladies and 2 gentlemen. So who goes first?
Yeah, that's the other thing, and that's what makes it most revealing. And what split do you like doing?
I think it's a little bit easier when it comes to the mixed 4x100 freestyle relay. I think it can be a little bit more complicated when you're looking at a medley event where you have all 4 strokes. But for this one, generally, it's the 2 males going first.
Okay, so you predict it's going to be the case with every single team?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. So the 2 men going out first. You heard that from Chanel. Here first, we will have Western Cape in action, as well as Ekuleni, Tshwane. That's Tshwane A. Then Tshwane B. And we've got Eastern Cape in action, as well as Western Cape B. It is mixed 4x100 freestyle to wrap up the night here in Gqeberha on day 2 of the SA.
Next
Swimming
up we
Champs.
have event 213, the mixed 4x100 meter freestyle relay. Let's hear it for lane 2, Western Cape Aquatics.
So Western Cape making their way out first. The team of Joshua Estes and Georgia Null, Jonah
Lane
Bull
3 we
Jones,
have
and Michaela
Aquatics,
DeVinnes.
Gauteng, Ekurhuleni.
In 3, we have Matthew Caldwell, Declan Egger, Carissa van Rooyen, and
Lane
Jess
4,
Thompson.
Aquatics,
I'll be
Gauteng,
representing
Tshwane.
Ekuleni, and then Tshwane A, Blake Godfrey, Tumela Mahan, Caitlin DeLange, and Hannah Robertson.
Aquatics, Gauteng, Tshwane.
Then we have 20B, Arnold van Rensburg, Aiden Borman,
Lane
Jonah
6,
Baez, and
Eastern
Hannah
Cape
Mouton.
Aquatics.
Then we've got the locals. Yeah, that roar. Eastern Cape, represented by
And
Matthew
lane
Pretorius,
7,
Connor
Western
Monjehans,
Cape
Janakos,
Aquatics.
and Kendra Fenter.
And Western Cape B team out in lane 7, Peter Utzold, Vickers Potgieter, Jana Smith, and Mila Prinsloo.
So this is going to be a quick one. Looking at their qualifying times, all under the 4-minute mark. This is going to be great to watch. And you heard Chanel saying, got to select 2 men up front, followed by the 2 women. Is that how things are going to pan out?
Seems like it.
Yeah, and
With the first swimmers?
one thing I've certainly learned when it comes to swimming, do not debate with Chanel van Beek. She knows her stuff.
No, I mean, it just makes sense because generally the men are a bit faster. So to put a female up against a male, it's just a whole lot of waves. So you want to get that lead at the beginning.
And that is a great explanation. Folks at home, you learn something new every day as the race is underway. The final race of the night, the mixed 4x100 free. And all the men going out first. And let's see what happens at the turn as they make their way back. Leading proceedings. A good swim out in lane 2. I think that's Western Cape B if I'm not mistaken. Lane 2 were out in front.
Looks like Joshua Esterhazen out in a 24:41.
And that, in fact, is Western Cape A. And Western Cape B over in lane 7. That's where they'll be competing. But a great first start from Joshua Esterhazen. Wow, this is very tight amongst these front runners. And they get ready for the handover. Well, geez, there's really nothing to choose between them at all. As I say that, lane 3 looking good, but lane 5 is start 51-57.
Yes, looks like Van Rensburg out touching the rest of the field there. The
Yep.
first leg.
And it is Tshwane out in front now. Tshwane A. Men handing over to men. And soon we'll see the women in action.
And out in lane 3, looks like Declan Egger.
That is Ekeleni. Jeez, what a fight back from them. It's a very good performance from Ekeleni so far as we're nearing the midway mark of this final race of the night. And Ekeleni continue to hold on to top spot. This is a fantastic effort from Declan Egger. Is that Carissa van Rooyen who'll be handing over to? Oh, and as we say that, over in lane 5,
Aiden Borman.
Aiden Bornman handing it over to Joanna Base, and it's back to Tshwane B. They're in front suddenly. Wow, this is changing hands quicker than the race itself.
Yes, looks like Joanna, but Caitlin De Lange coming through very strong in lane 4 for
As we
Tshwane.
say goodbye to the men, it's all about the women now. And at the turn in lane 4, leading the way, now it's Tshwane A.
Yes, it is Caitlin De Lange extending that lead. She'll be handing over to Hannah Robertson in that final leg.
Yeah, it's the third last lap. And this is the final lap for Hannah Robertson. Or Joanna Base, rather, as we see lanes 5 and 4.
And Carissa van Rooyen fighting back out in lane 3.
Lane 4 leading the way, and it is Tshwane A. Hannah Robertson taking over proceedings.
Yes, we have Hannah Robertson in lane 4, Jess Thompson in lane 3, and Michaela de Villiers out in lane 2.
Look at Michaela de Villiers, storm ahead. This is a terrific race. This is amongst those front runners.
Yes, Michaela de Villiers on that high after the win in the ladies 50 meters backstroke.
Yeah, she looks so good in that bull. And she's holding ever so slightly to the lead. I say ever so slightly, it looks as if she's pulling away now.
But Jess Thompson fighting back. 25 meters to go. Who's it going to be?
Western Cape A slightly in front, represented by Michaela de Villiers, being chased by Jessica Thompson from Ekeleni.
Looks like Michaela de Villiers is going to hang on for this win.
It does look like it. Look at them cheering her on, and she will go through to grab the victory. Western Cape A capture the win in lane 2. What a performance from the men and ladies in blue. A win for them. Meanwhile, in lane 3, it was Ekeleni doing a terrific job and capturing third spot. In lane 4, it was the team from Tshwane A. What a way to finish up the night.
No, some exciting swimming there.
Geez, how many times did that lead change hands? So congratulations in a time of 3:35.32. The team of Joshua Estes and Jonah Poole-Jones, Georgia Nell, and Michaela de Villiers. Here we have confirmation once again, the highlights. Wow, it was unbelievable. The amount of times we had different leaders throughout. And in the end, Michaela de Villiers holding on. She got to the front and she stayed in front as Western Cape A captured the victory in the mixed 4x100 freestyle relay.
And there we see the team from the Western Cape celebrating after their victory.
And rightly so.
Michaela de Villiers and Georgia Nell all smiles.
What a performance. So that was a fantastic end to proceedings here on day 2 of what was the SA Swimming Champs here at Newton Park Swimming Pool in Gqeberha. Chanel van Beek, thank you so much as always.
Anytime, looking forward to tomorrow.
Without a doubt, we'll reach the midway point tomorrow. And you can witness the medal ceremony still to come. From myself, Derek Alberts, and my co-commentator, Chanel van Beek, and the rest of the broadcast team, thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow for day 3 with the heats getting underway bright and early.
Last call for the men 200-meter butterfly medalists and also for the relay teams or the relay medalists. It's your last call to please report. Medal ceremony for the women 200-meter butterfly. Presented by Mr. Gqeberha, Acting Deputy Director General of DSAC. Assisted by Mr. Riza Ibrahim, President of Eastern Cape Aquatics. Bronze medalist, Lee McMorrin, Aquatics, Gauteng, Johannesburg. Silver medal goes to Jamie Motes from Eastern Cape Aquatics. And our gold medalist, Dunay Kutsia, Aquatics, Gauteng, Tshwane. Medal ceremony for the men 200-meter butterfly. Once again presented by Mr. Gqeberha, Acting Deputy Director General from DSAC, and assisted by Mr. Riza Ibrahim, President of Eastern Cape Aquatics. Bronze medalist, Dylan Wright, Western Cape Aquatics. Silver medalist, Chris Mialov, East Aquatics, Gauteng, Johannesburg. And our gold medalist from KwaZulu-Natal, Matt Sates. And our last medal ceremony for this evening. Event 213, the mixed 4x100 meter freestyle relay. Again, presented by Mr. Gqeberha, Acting Deputy Director General of DSAC. Assisted by Mr. Riza Ibrahim, President of the Eastern Cape Aquatics. Bronze medalist, Aquatics, Gauteng, Tshwane. Silver medalist, aquatics, Gauteng, Ekurhuleni. And our gold medalists, Western Cape Aquatics. Congratulations to all medal winners. And thank you to Mr. Gqeberha and Mr. Ibrahim for presenting the medals for us. Congratulations, everyone.